Hi, I'm Richard Byrne. I'm the host of Practical Ed Tech. Throughout the year, I host a bunch of professional development webinars for teachers like you and me. These are 1-hour webinars designed for busy people to pick up some new ideas that they can use in their classroom. Now, throughout the year, I always hear from folks who say, I wanted to join the webinar, but I couldn't because it wasn't at the right time for me. That's why I now offer all the webinars on demand. And for the next week, I'm offering all 8 of my webinars in one package at a great discount. Now, before I tell you about what's in this package, I want to answer some questions that I always get about all of these webinars. And the first one is, how many times can I watch the webinars? You can watch them as many times as you want. If you're like me, you probably watch a little bit before school and a little bit after school, and maybe you pick up a little bit of it during your lunch break. Or maybe you just need to go back and watch it a few times because there's some pieces you really want to think about. The point is, you can watch them as many times as you like. There are handouts included with every one of the webinars. So if you're sitting down at your computer, kind of like I am right now, you've got some handouts you can use to follow along or just a reference when you try and do these things in your classroom. I'm always asked, who are these webinars designed for? And they're designed for K-12 teachers, librarians, technology integrators, anyone who's looking for some new and interesting ways to use technology in their classrooms to help kids to create meaningful and engaging learning experiences for all of our students. A lot of people wonder if it's going to be too techy. In fact, someone asked me about that on Twitter earlier today. My answer is, I cover all the basics, but just because I cover the basics doesn't mean people who have some experience aren't going to pick up some new ideas to use as well. I always say it's kind of like reading a new book a second or a third time. You always pick up something new each time you go through it. And finally, the fifth question I'm always asked is, I use a Chromebook, or I use an iPad, or I use Windows or Mac. Can I do these things? And the answer to that is yes. In every single one of these webinars, I cover how to do these things on Chromebooks, iPads, Macs, Windows, and Android devices. So we cover all the major operating systems that you're going to find in your typical K-12 school. So here are the webinars that you'll find in this package. You'll find 5 formative assessment methods. In fact, I used one of these myself earlier today with my own students. You'll find 5 video projects for almost every classroom. Now I say almost because there's always an exception to the rule. I used to say every classroom, but people would argue with me and say, well, I can't use it here. So almost every classroom. If you want to go a little bit more in depth on the video side, you'll take a look at Intro to Green Screens and Animations, where you can learn how to make green screen videos and animated videos on any kind of device you might have in your classroom. I love Google Earth and Google Maps. Now, I teach computer science full-time these days, but I used to teach social studies, and Google Earth and Maps was often thought of as a social studies tool, but it can be used for a heck of a lot more, and in my webinar, you'll learn how to do that. If you've ever had a student come to you and say, Google has nothing on this, you know that they probably need to revisit some search strategies. And so I have a webinar, 10 search strategies students need to know. And in that webinar, you'll learn what those strategies are and how to teach those strategies to your students. We're coming up towards the middle of the school year for a lot of us, and maybe we need to get organized again. And Google Classroom Calendar and Keep can be great tools for doing that. And I've got a webinar all about how to do that. If you've seen these, or maybe you've seen a Merge Cube, maybe you've seen Google Cardboard Viewers, and you've wondered, what's the hype? What's the big deal about these? Should I be using these in my classroom? How can I use them in my classroom? You'll find those answers in Intro to AR and VR in Education. And finally, even though it's winter here in North America, or getting close to winter here in North America, no reason we still can't go outside for some lessons. And I have a webinar on how to blend technology into outdoor lessons. Now, normally, Each one of these webinars is $25, so it would cost you $200 to register for all of them and get all of them. But in this package, you can get all the webinars for $97 in one package. You can watch them as many times as you want. You get all the handouts. If you have any questions for me, you can always send me an email, richard@byrne.media. Now to sign up, go to practicaledtech.com/Thanksgiving, and you can register for all of these webinars today. And so to register for these webinars at practicaledtech.com/Thanksgiving, just scroll down, hit the Buy Now button. That'll take you right into using either your credit card or PayPal to register and have all the videos sent to you in one convenient package in your email inbox. Now again, this package is available until next Tuesday, after which it'll be back to regular price. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, richard@byrne.media. And I hope you take advantage of this real soon.